Okay, everyone, how's it going? This is me here again. This is going to be a movie review I get to talk about. Why do I say reviews? I need to quit that. I really do, because I don't do reviews. I just like to talk about them. But let's moving on. Anyways, this is over Attack of the Clones, technically second movie chronologically in the Star Wars movies. But this one follows the events of Obi-Wan and Anakin. Anakin is now a Padawan under Obi-Wan Kenobi, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you remember, promised Qui-Gon that he would train the boy, and Obi-Wan did. But we always hear that Obi-Wan's like, why did I train the boy? But anyways, first half of this movie, okay, to get it off first, this movie is not that good. The prequel movies just aren't that great. I don't know how many times I can say that just to make people understand. Actually, I don't think I need to worry about people understanding that. They already understand the prequel movies are not that good. This movie's like second worst out of all the Star Wars movies. Like when it comes to like 1, 2, and 3, just put them in that order. The 1 being the worst and 3 being the best. 1, 2, 3, you're done. That's the order of like worst to best. The third movie's the best out of the prequel movies. But episode 2's, it's okay. I like the idea of this movie, but there's so much wrong about this movie. One, Anakin's just so whiny. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I understand that evil future villain, might be whiny because he didn't like the way he was treated. I get that. It's just the way it wasn't this. I didn't like. Hayden Christensen, I think, is a great actor. The way he was supposed to portray Anakin was just not that good. The way I think Anakin should have been portrayed more so on the good side of things is how Kylo Ren is portrayed in Episode 7. Episode 7, he's still whiny, but he's portrayed... Adam Driver portrays Kylo Ren kind of as a whiny, kind of misunderstood child better than what Hayden Christensen was supposed to do with Anakin. That's just how I think it's supposed to be, except, not... Honestly, let's just be fairly frank here. Anakin and Kylo Ren... Kylo Ren's just kind of a copy, I think, just a better idea on what Anakin was supposed to be. Of course, I think Anakin's actually portrayed very well in the Clone Wars cartoons. Very well done in that. But, like I said, that's one of the things that I hate about this movie was how whiny Anakin was. Now, I love the idea behind this movie, it's kind of that part that's leading into the Sith kind of returning type thing, even though they already kind of returned in Phantom Menace, but in this, they kind of come out in full force. I mean, you have 2 clone armies. You have the Republic's clone army that's discovered in this, and you have the Sith kind of droid clone army in this movie. That's the only way I can understand Attack of the Clones in this, is that there's 2 clone armies. Tons of copied droids and tons of copied human soldiers. Both clone armies, technically, if you think about it in a way, and bam, you have the Clone Wars, 2 clone armies. And so, the first half of this movie is just kind of Anakin and Obi-Wan protecting Padme because she's attacked. Her one kind of pretend to be her is killed in the explosion in the beginning of the movie while Padme's undercover because, that's how this works. That's how she stays safe. She pretends to be a guard while her body double ends up pretending to be her. If you remember her from the last movie, who's played by Keira Knightley. Now, the first half of the movie is kind of slow. It's somewhat diplomatic stuff. Anakin takes Padme to another planet, to Naboo, and ends up being Tatooine, kind of protecting her, because blah blah blah, he ends up going to Tatooine because he has dreams of his mother dying, or something like that. So he goes there, finds his mom, ends up killing tons of Tusken Raiders, comes back to where Padme is, and he just ends up complaining because he killed those monsters like a monster. It's just complete irony over there on that front. And it really is just really boring for this first half of this movie. I mean, as I said, Anakin takes Padme to Naboo, her home planet, diplomatic stuff there, and then takes her to Tatooine because of his mom. It's completely boring. And then you have Obi-Wan on the other hand, which is a little bit more interesting part of the movie. He ends up going try to investigate the assassin who tried to kill Padme ends up getting killed by Jango Fett, let's just put it out there, and he doesn't know who it is, so he has to track it down with this little dart, and he ends up going to his friend who runs this little restaurant, and he ends up telling him that he's made by Camino, so he tries to find Camino in the map, and it turns out it was actually a race, so he goes to Yoda, and I guess it's training for little kids there. He pretty much just has little kids be can't find him, it was deleted, and they end up making fun of Obi-Wan, one of the greatest Jedi ever, and they make fun of him because he can't find his planet because he got lost, and Yoda ends up sending him there, and this is where events kind of start to get a little bit better, because he ends up going to Camino, and they end up telling Obi-Wan that Sifo Dyas ordered the creation of the clone army for the Republic, and it turns out Sifo Dyas has been dead for a long time. And this is what I kind of like. This is what I like about some things in Star Wars. There's just so many events going on out in, the galaxy, and that's what I liked about the prequel stories, is that there's so much going on rather than 4, 5, and 6, where there's a lot going on, just shows one small aspect of it. I mean, I've always loved the stories of the, like, prequel stuff, and that was done in this, just, I don't think done very well, because the script in this movie is not the best. Like, there's a part in this where Anakin ends up talking about sand. I think everyone knows that part of the movie. It's like, he doesn't like sand, it's rough and real coarse, and he just doesn't like it, and I'm just like, oh, the drama in this movie is real bad. If you've ever seen the deleted scenes for this movie, they're just awful. Now, moving on, Obi-Wan ends up having a fight with Jango Fett because he ends up finding Jango Fett and is told that Jango Fett's kind of the father, I guess, of all the clones. And he ends up going and following Jango Fett after like a really huge fight or a small fight on Kamino. And they have this weird little fight in space with like sonic mines and stuff like that on the way to Geonosis. And I'm just like, oh, okay, sonic mines. I stopped questioning Star Wars a long time ago. And so, my favorite part of this movie is when they get to Geonosis, after Obi-Wan's captured, after Anakin and Padme come to save Obi-Wan, they're all captured, and they end up having the arena fight. And this is where, from here on, I think the movie's the best. The Jedi all show up in this arena, they all start fighting, they all start helping, they're kind of surrounded, and I don't know if those are all the Jedi that are left in this fight, the ones that are shown in the circle surrounded by a droid army, but Yoda had gone to Kamino to get the clones, and it comes in, bam, huge Clone War starts. And I really liked this part of the movie, I don't know why. I'll just switch to the second half of this movie and watch it from there on out, because the whole Clone Wars thing going on, the clones fighting all the droids, the huge battle taking place, I just loved it. But it didn't show much out there, sadly. I wish it would have actually shown more, but watch the Clone Wars movie or cartoons and you can see more of these types of fights. And so, Anakin and Obi-Wan are actually chasing Count Dooku to his like little base, and what's neat was that it kind of showed where the Death Star is made. One of the Geonosians gives Count Dooku this like little plans for the Death Star, pretty much. This is kind of where it shows, so he takes it because he wants to take it to his master to be safe. And so, sometime in this movie, it's pretty much proved that Count Dooku is Darth Tyranus, according to Yoda. Because Anakin and Obi-Wan tried to fight Count Dooku, and it just didn't work out. Obi-Wan tried to last a little bit longer, and it's just real weird, because Qui-Gon was trained by Count Dooku, and Qui-Gon trained Obi-Wan, who trained Anakin. Anakin's the only one who could seem to be able to take Count Dooku on. Obi-Wan, granted, Count Dooku's fighting style is a little bit more defensive and supposed to be able to break any form of fighting style, but he just kind of quickly wipes the floor with Anakin and Obi-Wan. And what I never understood is why people hate Yoda's fight, because Yoda shows up to help after Anakin and Obi-Wan are beat, pretty much, and just lying on the ground, tired and defeated, and Anakin's arms cut off, so that's one of the reasons why he's pretty much just laying on the ground. I never understood why people hate Yoda being able to use a lightsaber. It makes sense that he can use a lightsaber. I don't know. It's just me. It makes sense. I mean, I guess I can somewhat understand why you hate it if you played Battlefront and you hate fighting Yoda because he jumped around everywhere. But I would love to see him, while they're filming that, just him swinging a lightsaber or some little stick around with nothing there, just pretend to fight Yoda. Yeah. I'd love to see that. But it's they're kind of basically even matched because Yoda basically trained Count Dooku, and so Count Dooku ends up getting away because he pretends to like smash Anakin Obi-Wan with the pillar, but Yoda stops it. Count Dooku gets away, and just, you know, for plot, Padme and some clone troopers show up, and while he's gone, they can't hit the ship flying away. And I was like, oh, really? You could have ended it right there if you would have shown up earlier. Actually, I'm more surprised that they actually showed up that quick, seeing as they run far back after they got knocked out of the gunship previously, before that. But Count Dooku ends up escaping, the droid army retreats, and he ends up giving the Death Star plans to his master, who he tells that the Clone Wars have started as planned, because if you don't know, Count Dooku pretended to be Sifo Dyas to create the clone army as plans to end up use the clone army because of what happens in Episode 3 to pretty much take over the Republic and turn into the Empire, but we'll get to that at another point. While Anakin and Padme are getting married, because you know that awful love story throughout the whole movie. I'm so glad the other go watch the deleted scenes for Attack of the Clones. It's just, they're awful. It makes no sense. They would not have fit in this movie. And Obi-Wan and Mace Windu are talking about the Clone Wars, how they have started, how it was a victory. Yoda does his thing, a victory, you say? And I won't get into that, because there's nothing that really happens. There's just one section of the movie that's good, and that's the part where the clones actually come in, the fight in the arena. And it pretty much shows at the end with Chancellor Palpatine just watching the clones fly off in their ships to different places, you know, because the Clone Wars, to defend planets, to save planets, to stop the Sith and their droid army from getting any power. And that's pretty much where this movie ends. As I said, the only parts I think I liked from this movie are the small parts with Obi-Wan going to Kamino, the arena fight, the clones showing up, the clone war that takes place on Geonosis, and the ending where the clones are actually flying off. Those are the only parts I think I enjoyed about this movie. Other than that, the part with Anakin taking Padme to Naboo is just not that good. The love story's awful. I mean, it's just, it's so bad. I mean, there's a reason that, as I said, out of the prequel movies, this is the second best, because it's easy to be better than the first movie, and the third one's the best, leaving it at that, but let's just say the script for this movie wasn't that good. I liked the premise of it, I liked how it could have been, it just didn't do that. Luckily, Jar Jar Binks is not in this movie as much, but overall, if I have to, I would probably skip this and go watch the Clone Wars cartoon, because it's so much better, and then just watch episode 3 and then go 4, 5, 6, but I own them all. I'm a Star Wars freak. Star Wars owns my soul, pretty much. But leave in the comments if you like this movie. If you didn't, say why. If you did, say why. I don't really care. It's your opinion. If you liked them, you liked them. I know I don't like 1 and 2 that much. But leave them down below, and I will see you guys next time.